Oh my goodness. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the end of the year. It's December, and at this time of year, we have a ritual in our Live Younger community. For those of you that are new, this will be new for you. For those of you that have been around, you're going to appreciate this because it just keeps getting better every year. So, you know how we're always talking about working on yourself because you are your business? Well, there's in our American culture, we have this tendency, if we want to go from here to here, we just do more. And one of my wise elders and teachers said to me, "You're so busy doing, 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 you end up with a lot of do-do."
You get stuck in the doo-doo.
Well, the same is true with stuff, and stuff has many dimensions to it. And it just, our guest today is masterful at seeing what's actually causing some interference, what's in the way of a graceful move forward. JJ Joshua has been a friend of mine for many, many, many decades, my coach, my friend, my mentor. I really don't know where I'd be in this world without her. She's my very first call if there's something wonderful to celebrate or if there's something challenging I need help with, because she has this ability to see the bigger picture, to see what's in the way. She has many, many gifts. One of them is access to the Akashic records, because sometimes what's going on in her life started before this life. And I know that might be a stretch for some people's belief, and that's okay. Um, just be open. But I want to share a few other things about JJ because um, her bio is quite impressive. For 29 years, she's been helping thousands of people reach their goals, and her audience and the people she works with are across the board: executives, entrepreneurs, artists, writers, consultants, people that are really ready for the next step. And people are drawn to JJ. They're ready to transform. They're ready to have life be easier. And so, um, JJ left her very deeply fulfilling corporate career in 1996, where she was, working with Fortune 500 companies. That's where I met her at a company called Enlightened Leadership, which changed my life. And she, is following her guidance. She lives by trusting her guidance of that next lighted step. And so she got into doing, miracle-minded coaching. And oops, let me turn that off. Sorry about that. Um, so she refers to it as miracle-minded coaching, and it comes with her ability to read the Akashic records and subtle energy bodies. She's helped people transcend and move quickly. This is what I love, is she can see what's in the way. Because many times in our culture, we want to move forward, we put our foot on the gas. But if our foot is on the brake at the same time, what we get is increased resistance instead. So what JJ does is help you see where's your foot on the brake and let go of that one. And so her coaching practice is grounded in service and in the higher loving light. And the famous quote from Einstein: "You can't solve a problem from the same mode of mind that created it." So today we're going to be going through a variety of things. So you want to bring on the first slide because I want to read a quote from Connie. But I am honored to share JJ with all of you because she has absolutely been a godsend in my life. Like I said, she's my first call. I probably would have multiple breakdowns if it wasn't for JJ. And she's been so helpful for so many people in our community. So I'm just going to share a quote, and then I'm going to turn things over to JJ to jump into our event today. We used to call it conscious completions because if, when you end the year strong, you start the year strong. Well, we're actually shifting it a little bit. It's the same, but even better. So before we jump in, I just want to share a quote from Connie, who's been working with JJ for, I believe, 5 years now. I found I was always getting stuck at a certain point of success and seeming to carry around the same stuff. And I wasn't even sure it was mine. Working with JJ for the past 5 years has helped me achieve greater success professionally, financially, and with all my relationships, family, friends, and colleagues. JJ's unique coaching experience is available for anyone. She helps you effectively and efficiently take the trash out. Let's take the trash out and move forward to a life you were born to live. And Connie has been an amazing student. It's work. And when something comes up in her life, she takes total responsibility, calls JJ, I need help. And she moves through it magnificently. So at this time, I'm thrilled to bring on my friend of many, many decades. I don't even know how many, but a lot. Um, JJ, Genevieve, yo woman, Joshua. You can come on now.
Hello.
Camera on, please.
Camera
Take
on would be helpful. Yes.
that wood.
Here we go.
There you
Camera.
There
are.
you are. Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you, Robin and Gregory, and all of you for all the love. And this opportunity is so precious. And so I'm in teaching intentional living, even in my corporate career. So let's get intentional right now. If you can, if you're not driving, arms up in the air and say out loud if you can, I choose to receive and allow
I
I choose
choose
to
to
receive
receive
and
and
allow
allow
maximum benefit
maximum
maximum benefit
on every level
on
on
every
every
level
level
from this webinar today.
from
from
this
this webinar
webinar
today.
today.
Yes, I will.
Yes, I will.
Yes, I can.
Yes, I can.
Yes,
Yay,
I
Ravel.
am. Hi, Ravel. So thank you all for being here. This is our 5th year. We're all getting better and better as we go and letting go faster. And Robin said it was like, I help people take out the trash. And what I actually say is, I'm really a glorified garbage collector. I help you to locate where the big pile of garbage is in your way, and we move it out. We do that on 4 levels. And we'll talk about that later. So thank you again I love the LifeWave community, what you're all about, and I'm in. Let's go. Let's do that first slide, Gregory.
Okay, are we seeing the slide now?
I see a slide, but I also see faces up. So I don't know what everybody else is seeing.
Yes.
Just 1 second. Let me start that over again. Share. How's that?
Still seeing faces, but they're at the top.
I see faces at the top of the screen and I see the slide.
Okay.
Oh, yes. Okay. That's the way it's going to be. So everybody,
That's
please
the way
leave
it's
your
gonna
camera
be.
off
Okay.
except JJ.
Great.
Okay.
All right, so we are talking about the power, literally the power of letting go with conscious completions today. And we're all butterflies in truth. And we are here to bring forth new habits and skills to help you thrive, grow, and prosper. Next slide, please. You want to activate. Oh, back one, please. One more forward, please, Gregory. And Gregory, I'm receiving messages in front of my slides that are hard for me to read the slides. So I don't know how to turn those off. Like
What
people that are coming
messages?
in, but we'll just jump
Oh,
over.
you'll just have to ignore that.
I'm going to ignore that. So
Yep.
what I mean by activating the divine power, we all are familiar with physical, mental, and emotional power, but we also have divine power. And you can only grow by letting go. Let me hear you say it. I can only grow by letting go. Next slide, please. And as Robin has already said, we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. How do we get out of the same thinking intentionally and paying attention and choosing it? Next slide. Okay, guys, we are enculturated and trained to hang on. We are taught this from the very beginning. Just looking at the number of storage units in America kind of tells the story. And I'm not talking about just stuff, but emotional stuff, medical stuff, mental stuff. We are trained by our culture to hang on. So you and we have to work together in this community of LifeWave to say, no, I'm not going to be a victim to my enculturated training to hang on to old hurts, get and gain no matter what, stuff it all away. That isn't going to bring you a brilliant, abundant, thriving life. So today we're going to learn some very practical tools. I am a mystic, but I am walking right next to the mundane in all of my choices. One of my teachers says, if it doesn't grow corn, what good is it? So today we're going to grow some great corn of how you can become more intentional and drop the everything that's in your way of moving forward. We can kick this habit, and it's helpful to do it together. Next, please. Next slide, please. There we go. Okay, anybody relate to this? You can't reach for anything new if your hands are full of yesterday's crap. Take a look at that and bring that image in and say, I am letting go. I can let go. You got to give yourself permission. Next slide. Why let go? Because you are born to be free of the past. When I work with my clients, I'm working on all 4 levels, including the soul level. The soul wants you to be free. Soul isn't really attracted or attached to what you do on this planet. It wants to get free of any darkness that's in the way of your inherent, intrinsic light. It's your soul's job to get free, so to thrive, grow, and prosper, to have abundance in every way, including peace of mind and peace of heart, and to know deep love and peace and joy, and to increase your strength. When we let go of the past, we get stronger. Remember, everybody's probably had that experience where you've taken a long walk with a backpack, and you finally take the backpack off, and your whole body goes, oh, thank you. Your whole body, mind, spirit system says thank you when you take off the backpack of the past. Next, please. You know what letting go is, guys? A radical act of self-love and empowerment. So I'd really like for you, if you can, to join me and say that I am letting go.
I am letting go.
Because it's a radical act of self-love and empowerment.
It's a radical act of self-love and self-empowerment.
Good job. This is self-love on steroids. Next slide, please. Most coaches and most learning are teaching us to get and gain, how to get more, staying with the goals, running the list, like Robin said earlier. But about 6 years ago, I received a spiritual teaching that I'm sure wasn't new, but it came to me, and literally it was the most healing and transformative concept that I've ever experienced spiritually, then integrated in my day-to-day life. And it changes everything, and it is absolutely the key to being able to let go, for the mind to let go. See, our lizard brain wants to hang on to everything because it thinks it's making us survive. Well, that's a misguided mind, our lizard brain. Your higher self and your conscious self say, let it go, let's be present here. These 2 truths I'm about to share with you, you can also find on my website in the resources tab. And the most important document I've ever written, the most important information that's ever come through me and probably ever will, is free for you at the resources tab called Forgiveness, the Master Healer. And these 2 truths are explained in detail in that document as well. Let's go to the next slide, please. Letting go and calling complete on all 4 levels: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. When you're working with me, I'm always using this little reminder. 4 levels is what causes change, not just 2, not just 3, but 4. And that's what we're going to be doing today and using these techniques. Next, please. The 2 truths set you free. And here they are. Everything happened in the only way it could have. The proof of this, you guys, is quite obvious. It didn't happen any other way. Only in your imagination did it happen somewhere else, or could have. So in these 2 truths, we can completely free ourselves from could have and should have thinking, which is extremely a backward focus, and it's a complete waste of time. Everything happened in the only way it could have throughout all of humanity and in every moment of your life. The proof of this is quite obvious. The second truth is, this is for you and everyone you know and every world leader and every group of people throughout history, that every one of us involved did the best we could with what we knew and had available to us physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. Let me say that again. We all did the best we could in every moment of our life with what we had available to us physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. A lot of times we make mistakes or so seeming mistakes in our life or get off track just because we're tired. We got to cut ourselves a break. You're doing everything you possibly can right now to show up in your life. Let's go to the next slide, please. Okay, arms up again. The two truths release you. These truths integrated daily. And when they first came into me, I asked my guides, well, how should I use this? And they say all day long. So that's what I do. I walk through the world reciting the two truths. Everything's happening the only way it could have. It keeps me out of judgment, out of victim. The most important thing that happens with the two truths is we stop victimhood thinking in its tracks. This not only is a thinking, but for many, many people, victimhood has become an identity. And when I come across identities in people's auric fields and energy fields, it takes quite a bit of love to dislodge an identity that you think has kept you alive all these years. Victim identity is everywhere. One of my beloved spiritual teachers says, even the slightest complaint, like, oh gosh, another great day, even the slightest complaint is a vote for victimhood. Can I do anything about the weather? It's gray right now. No, I can't. I can accept the day as it is. Any slight complaint is actually walking down the road of victimhood. And these two truths will catapult you out of victim thinking. We all do it. We're trained to do it, but we don't have to stay there. Next slide, please. Let go and be free, guys. The benefits are so great. Activate your higher self connection. It stops that should have and could have thinking, lightens your subconscious load, releases old beliefs in stuck places, transcends self-sabotage, shame, and guilt. This is really key. The most toxic thought form that any human carries in their subconscious or conscious is perceived guilt or shame. That is the most toxic energy that sabotages our life. And it opens us up to the path of intrinsic innocence and worthiness. Everybody, would you join me right now if you can? Rub your hands together, get them nice and warm, put them on your cheeks and say this out loud. This is truth. I am innocent and worthy. And this is how I end every single one of my sessions. I join with my clients on Zoom and we speak to each other. I am innocent and worthy. That's the ultimate affirmation of power. Next one, please. Okay, see those balloons? See all that lift? This is because one of my clients very recently came to me. She said she was about in her late 50s, and she said, my entire life, I have been just brutalized by an inner self-critic. She said, it's terrible. She said, I can't even brush my teeth without it happening. It's been here all my life. I've been to therapy. I've been to neuro-linguistic programming. I've been to all these trainings. I've done everything I can. I'm just shy of electroshock therapy to stop this voice. And she said, I heard about you and I'm giving this a try. So I spoke with her about the two truths. And I talked to her about how her brain had gotten stuck in victim and judge on a judging tract. And just regular affirmations won't change that. Spiritual truth does. So spiritual truth has a power. And I suggested that she pee her way to enlightenment. Yes, you heard me right. Peeing our way to enlightenment is a great way to change your life without having to change your schedule. You're going to the bathroom anyway. So while you are there, take a moment to say the two truths. Take a breath. Just give a nod to God, as one of my teachers says. Activate your higher self instead of running your list or just going unconscious for the few minutes you're in the bathroom. Use every time you go to the bathroom to speak the two truths and be grateful for something. And now you're connecting to your higher self. So I gave her that instruction and I said, you don't have to only do it at the bathroom. You can do it all day long if you want to. But I'd very much like for you to integrate the two truths to see if we can get a spiritual intervention to stop that toxic critic. So our session was on Wednesday and she had a full Saturday plan of plans and they all canceled. So she went into the bathroom her first thing and she was doing the homework, gratefully doing the homework, and she didn't have anything else to do. So she just kind of stood there, and doing this in the mirror is very powerful. So she stood there looking in the mirror and just recited the two truths out loud for a few minutes. And she noticed she felt kind of different. And so then she came back and she did it again. As it ended up, she spent most of her Saturday reciting the two truths in front of a mirror. So fast forward, she calls me on Tuesday and she said, I'm canceling the other two sessions I set with you. The only reason I came was to quiet this voice. She said the very next day, the voice was gone. I usually would wake up with a flood of things that I did wrong yesterday. It was gone, and it has been gone for 3 days. This is the power of truth, spiritual truth. It is the most loving thing you can do, is to integrate these two truths into your life. And she is now free of a toxic voice she had had for over 50 years. Next slide, please. Enlightenment is catching yourself off track faster than the time before. And the first time I heard this quote was from you, Robin, years ago, and I just love it. So when you hear yourself criticizing, or you're going into a victim state in any way, or you're just feeling low, just say, oops, and call upon your inner Buddha and shift your energy. And we're going to talk about how to do that. Next slide, please. Love you, Buddha. Next slide, please.
Yeah, see, you can't move because you wouldn't come in.
We've got another voice behind us here. Okay. The first step is your authentic willingness. Okay, for everybody knows this, you've been doing a lot of personal growth. The very first step is awareness.
Did you love it?
Oh, we've got another voice. Can you hear it, Gregory? Okay. So if you're not aware that you're off track, Buddha's quote won't help you. So the first step is awareness, but the second step is really, I've got it down here as the first step, but it's really in action, is willingness. The first step of willingness, I am willing to see this differently. I am willing to allow and receive divine intervention and shift my focus from victim to victory. So in your willingness, be resolute and be focused and grateful. Attitude is everything. We know this. And it works here too when you're shifting your consciousness. Next slide, please. All right, there's 2 ways to practice letting go. What we've been doing up until this point, we've been talking about the mystical side of letting go, and the spiritual side, and the kind of the psychological, deep, unconscious part of letting go. Now we're moving into the practical. We're going to grow some corn here, guys. So there's 2 ways to practice conscious completing letting go. It's a 5-minute process done daily or weekly, and then also ceremonial. So we're going to go into the 5-minute process right now. Literally 5 minutes, next slide please, is all you need to start living a much more present life. Next slide. Okay, Here's Amy Cuddy right here in front of us. Remember Amy Cuddy from your convention? I just love the fact that she was with you at the convention. I've been working with Amy Cuddy's concepts for several years when I first saw her TED Talk years ago. So the simple 5-minute conscious completion is aided by moving into her power posture. However, this Amy's work, great, love it, Amy. Thank you so much for bringing it to the planet, but it's missing an element. It's missing the element of the spiritual. It's physical, emotional, mental. When we change our hormonal shift from cortisol to testosterone, from the fight or flight to the I got this hormone. That's what her posture does in the body and in the brain. But it doesn't address the spiritual. So if you do Amy Cuddy's power posture, and at the very back bottom bullet there, you'll see hold the power posture for 2 minutes. Sometimes it takes 4 when I've experienced quite a loss or a shock. I might have to do it a little bit longer. And during that time, you want to place a smile on your face and activate gratitude. Now, I'm a clairvoyant, so when I'm working with my clients, I can literally visually see the higher self light up, the connection between your brain, your conscious self, and your higher self, and it lights up with gratitude. This is literally a pathway to your higher self. And Oprah's talked about this for years, but really I've never heard anybody say, wow, it helps you with your higher self. You want to and choose to increase your connection to the divine in you. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude with a real heartfelt sense. So you're holding the 2-minute posture up strong and you're being grateful. So right now, if you can, arms in the air and just say out loud something you're grateful for. I am grateful for all of you and Robin and Gregory and Zoom. I love Zoom. Okay, we have just now activated the simple 5-minute process. First, you want to get in the power posture. First, you want to get out of any victim hormones in your body. First, you want to be strong. Next slide, please. And gratitude strengthens you on the spiritual level. Next slide. Okay. Practice conscious completions and letting go in 4 steps. First of all, you say, I'm choosing to complete this day. Let me hear you say it. Everybody say it. I am choosing to complete this day up until now. And you stand in the power posture while you're doing that. And then I stand in my own power. I now call this day complete and good enough. This practice is designed for the end of your day. And if you did this every day and you hook it to a habit, like brushing your teeth, those habit stacking we learned from James Clear, please do this every day. And your soul will get lighter and lighter and lighter, and that bag lady holding all that luggage will disappear when you do this every day. I stand in my own power, and I know I will call this day complete and good enough, and really, really mean it in a calm, centered tone. Voice this powerful declaration. And then the step 3 is I call back my spirit, physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually from this day. I call this day complete and good enough. And then you can add the 2 truths in there. Down at the bottom, everything happened in the only way it could have. I did the best I could in every moment is step 4. And then clap 3 times. Clapping actually affects your auric field. When you clap, you kind of like take out the trash. That vibrational energy helps the auric field let go and stabilize. Simple 4 steps. Oh, and by the way, we're going to mention this later, but you get a 10-page handout that's already on my website in the resources tab, but it's also going to be attached, I think, Robin, to all of your communications. And the 4-step process is right here along with the 2 truths, everything you need, amazingly detailed 10-page handout. Next step. So at the end of every day, do a conscious completion. Moving on. Next slide. Be kind. Be kind to your mind and be kind to everybody else's mind in your life. Call this day and all of its event complete. Claim that your creations were good enough. everything I did and all that I am is good enough. I'm innocent and worthy of love. See, we're talking truth here. Truth is strengthening. We're not talking about I did this and I did that. We are talking truth. We're going to vitalize your higher self as you go off to sleep. I am grateful for the gifts of this wonderful day. I declare this day complete. Now close your eyes and take a gentle breath and give yourself a hug for a great day. You did the best you could. Think of this every night. And those of you that are parents, please teach this to your youngsters. And let's spread the idea of conscious completing and letting go so that your soul can walk through this incredible, challenging life without so much load. Next slide, please. Okay, you did it, guys. You did it. If you did it with me, you did it. You achieved a conscious completion. See how simple that is? And you're going to have handouts, so all the words are going to be available to you. And you've already got your gold star. As Robin knows, I am known as the Gold Star Lady. You all get a gold star just for this part. And here is, you remember Sherry, Robin, from Enlightened Leadership. This was years ago. I was teaching this to our teams. I can't believe what a difference this tool has made in my life. Thank you, JJ, for helping me live much greater peace. Seems too simple to be so powerful. It is incredibly powerful because you're harnessing spiritual energy and truth. Next step. Next slide, I mean. Thank you. How to let go of disappointment. You guys are in an industry that has ingrained in it some disappointment. You work hard to develop a potential brand partner, you get to know them, you educate them, you coddle them, maybe you get to really attach to them, and then perhaps they might just peter out because people do that. You might have noticed. I want to tell you a story here. Disappointment is another form of victimhood. Just like my teacher said, any complaint is a vote for victim. So years ago in my sales career, I was a sales manager for 9 guys across the country. We were selling computer-aided transcription machines, and I flew into Marty's territory, and we were going to go, what I thought was close a whole courthouse with this equipment. It was a big sale. It was going to be big for our credibility. It was great. Soon as I walked in the door and shook hands with our the judge who was the decision maker, I knew something was up. And she goes on to tell us that one of our competitors had offered them a much better price. And if we could match that price, they'd like to go with us because we had a better training program. And I knew as sales manager, we could not meet that price. So I said, no, we can't. And we wish you the very best. And Marty, my sales rep, he just shot his hand out and he shook everybody's hand in the room with such enthusiasm and said, thank you so much for your time. If anything you need anything from me, please call me. Here's my card. And I'm inside of me quite sad and disappointed. We lost the sale mostly for Marty. And we're walking out the door. Marty's just bouncing his way to the car. And I said, well, Marty, you sure got over that one fast. And he says, I have 5 kids. I don't have time for disappointment. You don't have time for disappointment either. Do not give your power away. Now, it's normal to feel it. It's normal to experience it, but how long? Remember Buddha's phrase? Enlightenment is the process of catching yourself off track faster than the time before. So feel the disappointment. Give it 2 minutes. Maybe have your little whiny baby moment. Oh, dang. You can do that. But then shift, clap your hands, do the power posture, and shift into what's next. And I'll take the next slide, please. How to let go of disappointment fast. This is just, we've already talked about this, but just holding the power posture for 2 minutes and to review what you learned from that encounter. Now, not only are you getting out of victimhood, you're also working with conscious mastery. What did I learn? What could I have done differently if I could have? Which you couldn't. You did the best you could, but what would I do differently in that situation going forward? And what are you grateful for? What gifts did you receive from that encounter, from that person, or any experience that might disappoint you? What did I learn? What were the gifts? And acknowledge yourself for the efforts, clap your hands, do the power posture, and move on. And let's go to the next slide. Now, let's talk about ceremonial conscious completion. This is so we talked about the day-to-day completion, and you can even do completion at lunch. So you complete through the day. Conscious completing is such a part of my life, and the two truths, I'm just constantly looking for it. How can I complete this? How can I love this? But sometimes we need a ceremonial conscious completion for something big in our lives, like major events or major loss or divorce or a health challenge. The same 4 steps apply to the simple conscious completion in a ceremonial completion, but you may need to layer it a few times. Customize the ceremony to meet your needs and fill your heart. And you might want to have a witness for a conscious completion. A dear friend of mine left her career of 20 years as a teacher to go do other things. And she had me come over here in Bellingham, and she literally had a bonfire behind her house and burned all the materials that she had been keeping for 10 years of teaching as she completed her career. And we just kept talking about the blessings that her career was, and that it was all going into the fire. I myself did a very rigorous conscious completions. It'll be 9 years ago on February 14th of 2026. I let go of all of eating all flour and sugar, all of it. No stevia, no nothing, no flour, not healthy flour, no sugar. And I did a conscious completion ceremony the night before I was going to start. And I didn't know how I was going to do this. I just knew I must do it. I had a guidance that that stuff is not working for me anymore. And I bought all my favorite sugar and flour foods, and I had food sex for 4 hours. I called my friends and said, don't call me. I'm having food sex. If you don't hear from me by 10, I died in a coma. I ate everything I wanted, all the sweets, all the desserts, sourdough bread, and I treasured it. And I set myself a beautiful table and put pictures of Jesus and the angels and everybody up. And I did a deep dive into conscious completion with flour and sugar. That's almost 9 years ago. I kept off all of the weight, and I kept true to my lines, except for the last 2 months of this year. Things got so chaotic, I kind of had to grab some food, but I'm back on track now. So whatever ceremony, there's no right or wrong to this. And it doesn't matter how like big the event is. If you feel inside yourself you would be supported by a ceremonial conscious completion, make it up, be creative with it, have fun, and do it. And of course, this is great for the end of each year. I also do them at the end of each season. So December 21st is the end of fall and the beginning of winter. That's a great time to do a conscious completion ceremony. Next slide, please. You can use this for every aspect of your life, guys. Loss and trauma, friendships, habits and patterns, work, everything. Conscious completion, letting go, will lighten your load at every level in every aspect of your life. Next, please. Next slide, here we go. When to do conscious completions? Well, I do them all day long, but certainly every day at the end of your day, the end of your work week, twice a day, midday and end of day. But the calendar over there says now, so you can't overdo this. Bigger life events that may need ceremony and layering, maybe an event way long ago. I had a medical doctor came to me once, and she was up in years. She was 38 years old and wanting to get pregnant. And she wasn't getting pregnant. And the energy said she was still too exhausted. Her body couldn't make another human. And I said, what are you exhausted from? She said, medical school. I'm still exhausted. She was a brain surgeon. And she was still carrying around the fatigue from medical school. So we did a conscious completion for her. And I don't know if she got pregnant or not, but it sure felt good to me to help her get free of that load. Next slide, please. Why is this important? So what Robin and I are doing differently this year than we have the previous 4 years is we're really stressing the why. And we all know that in terms the why is what keeps you going. Why is what grows your business, not the how, it's the why. And you have so much support from Robin and Gregory and LifeWave on the how. But the why is from us. That comes from in our hearts. Letting go with conscious completion helps you rewrite your story, grow your peace and joy, releases old belief in stuck places. I literally get to see this when I'm with my clients. It enhances your connection to your higher self. So brilliant. Increases creativity and resourcefulness and well-being, and it transcends self-sabotage and guilt. These are fabulous reasons to integrate the habit of conscious completion into your daily life. Next slide. Refuse to be conditioned, you guys. Master the practice of letting go with conscious completions to set yourself free. You got this. You can do it. It's not complex. It simply requires your commitment to do so. Next slide. Got a next slide there? There we go. Okay, guys, your higher self is ready to awaken the abundance of worthiness, power, and love that already exists in you. You don't have to earn this or learn it, but we do need to turn our attention to our higher self, to the strength in us. So much of our attention has been on the victim side of life. The identity with victimhood can hold us back forever. We choose again as fast as we can. We correct our course. Let go. Get out of your higher self's way with conscious completions as a lifetime practice. And I'm here for you, and Robin's here for you, and there's lots of resources, and I think it's time to talk about those resources, Robin, and thank you again for this great opportunity.
All right. Oh my gosh. Well, I want to make a few comments before I go to the next step because, I've heard this a few times, but every time I hear it, it's like, oh yeah. And one of the things when we first started doing this work, I have this visual of a boat. We're rowing a boat and we got
Yeah.
holes in the boat. And you're rowing the boat and you got holes in the boat. It's hard. And the boat keeps filling up with water and it gets harder and harder and harder. So the habit of conscious completion is looking in our lives of where are the holes in the boat? Where is
Beautiful.
something? And the other day, I got something in the mail from a friend of mine from Sunday school. We went to college, Sunday school. We went to college together. We've stayed friends all these years. And I borrowed money from him in 1992, and I never paid it back. And every once in a while, I'd think about it and I'd like, oh my God, I got to handle that. And he sent me this letter which was the original agreement. And he was concerned about how I'd handle it. And I said, oh my God, I'm so happy. Thank you. I get to plug the hole in the boat. You know,
Oh,
it was
great,
an
Robin.
incomplete for a long. Yeah, and so he was thrilled that I was so happy, but at the same time, there's so many little things in our lives, and it could be, a piece of clothing that needs mending, or something that needs fixing, or it's where's our energy leaking, and a
Yes.
lot of that's in relationships, and so being really clean in our relationships plugs up holes, and the part about catching ourselves track because we've been doing a certain way for so long. So give yourself a break, but every time you're aware, because we can't change things until we have awareness. And so when you catch yourself with that, judgment, self-sabotage, shame, whatever it may be, and you're catching yourself, you want to pat yourself on the back and say, all right, I caught myself. That's enlightenment. As you're catching yourself off track. And it takes time. And some of us have post-its on our mirrors and on our computers, and we need little reminders all over the place. And I love the visual of the luggage. And I remember someone wise saying, take your luggage on your trip, but leave your baggage at home, So, so we want to, and then, and I wanted to also mention, Something JJ and I have been doing for years. Like if you do get, disappointed, and that happens in life, it's important to let ourselves feel. So JJ taught me this technique. It's very efficacious. It's 2 minutes to power wine. 2 minutes, and you just let it all out.
All right.
And then when you do it and you really exaggerate and dramatize and the whole thing, then you definitely feel better, but you've given yourself that space to move the energy through your body so you can move on, So
Go right
we
into the
like power whining, don't we,
move it.
JJ?
Yeah.
We go from power whining to power pose. Yes. And we love the power. And really, for those of you that saw Amy Cuddy, if you didn't, go on TED Talk and look up Amy Cuddy, the most viewed TED Talk in history. But it absolutely changes our state of how we
Mhm.
feel about ourselves. So now what I want to do is share a little bit about what's next for those of you that are interested. And just so you know, JJ offers so much value. She has a lot of great free stuff, and it's really cool free stuff. And her website is jj4insight.com. And it's FOR is spelled out. And there's a 10-page handout that goes with this. How to transform emotional triggers. Oh my gosh. 52 practical and inspirational topics on JJ's video blog. I've watched all of them and they are amazing. Well, no, there's a few new ones. I haven't got the new ones yet, but I will get those. And a 16-page PDF instructional document at the resources tab. So when you go to her website, there's a resource tab. It's loaded. I invite everyone. It's an amazing website. I mean, sometimes I just go back to that website and get inspired just reading the testimonials because they're people's lives dramatically change. And some of us have been working with JJ for a very long time. Thank God. All right. So
And Ruben, if I could
next,
just
okay, the
reinforce, over there in the resources tab, as I mentioned earlier in the presentation, the most important thing that I ever received from Spirit was the information of the two truths. And the two truths and true forgiveness are combined in the most important thing I've ever written. I literally feel if I died tomorrow, writing that was my legacy. And that's available for free. It's called Forgiveness, the Master Healer, which talks about true forgiveness and the two truths. Please make sure you go and get that one and look at it. It's right there, free. They're all printable, and lots of benefits for you there. Thanks so much, Robin.
Yes, you are most welcome. So if you're feeling like you have some interest in checking out, does it feel like a fit to work with JJ? What JJ does is no, go back, honey, is a discovery call to make sure it is a good fit for you. And it's a half-hour free discovery call where she explains how she works, and there's a process that she goes through. And again, it may be a fit for you and not her, or you, her, not you, whatever. You'll figure it out. It'll be very clear when you do that. And so there's a website there that you go to, and it's jj4insight.com/life wave 2025, and it'll bring up her calendar. And so we're going to show you exactly how that works.
I want to just make a
Yes.
point here, Robin. This is not on my regular website. This is a private little website, web page for just the LifeWave people. So this the only way you can find it is with this link, and it will get you to the calendar and also payment. It's all right there. It's just for you guys because I don't normally discount. We're going to discount for you guys.
I was just going to say that. I've never seen JJ discount for anyone except us. So it's just us. So Gregory's going to pull up the page, right?
In a moment.
In a moment. He's going to pull up the page so you can see where you go. Go to the page. You want to scroll down to the point where it says schedule a free discovery conversation. And he's doing that right now.
Okay, and everybody can go into the chat. If you open the chat, I just posted the link in there. So I'm going to open the chat myself, and I'm going to click on the link all the way at the bottom. There it is. And now let me stop my share and reshare. Stop share And I'll reshare. Share. There it is. Okay. And here's what you'll see. JJ, you want to explain what people are seeing when they get to your website here?
Yeah. So everything you need to activate your LifeWave discount is on this page. And if you can scroll down a little bit, this is the pricing for the 3 opportunities, and then go a little bit further down there, Gregory, and you'll see a a little bit more down. When you get to my little picture, right
Oh,
next
there
to
you are.
it is the schedule today. So I do, this is just for the discovery conversation. This is not a commitment to work. It's just for us to chat and find out if it's a fit. And there is a calendar there just for you guys. It's not for anyone else, just for the LifeWave team. And I have set aside 3 sessions today. So if anybody wants, first come, first serve, 10 o'clock Pacific time, 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock today. I have open for any discovery conversation, and then they're spread out through January 6th. So there's 32 options, and then there's a waiting list if needed. So I'm available for the discovery conversations. I've changed my whole calendar so that we can get plenty of you to have that if you want it. And this is how you get to it. And this is also where you would pay for your program should you choose to go ahead. Because this pricing is not anywhere else in my website. I think that's
Special for the LifeWave Live Younger family only. Thank
yes,
you,
it
JJ.
is.
That's
It's for you
awesome.
wonderful peeps doing such great work in the world. And because Robin and Gregory are such good champions for me, I want to champion right back. So everything you need is on that
Okay.
special link. And Gregor, you might want to post it in the chat again if that's possible.
Yeah, it is. JJ, maybe I can, there it is. JJ, copy it and I'll go to the bottom and post it at the very bottom. There it is. So everybody can grab a copy of that while we're still online. And should we go back to the PowerPoint?
Yeah, I have one more slide back, I think.
Okay. So let's move forward. And I apologize for the delay. I was hitting next slide the moment you said it, but we had this
Delay.
Yeah.
we're having a with our internet here, so I
Yeah,
apologize to
we would
everybody.
have it. We've discovered an internet, so I figured it was just, So remember to use your special link. I so hope to see you soon. But what I hope the most, what I choose for you, is to integrate the practice of conscious completion and letting go in your daily life. This is not hard, you guys. It's not complex.
Mhm.
It's not something you have to really learn. Everything you need is right here in the handout and on this video. It's choosing to do it every day. So I start every day with an intentional prayer, and that is on my video. My little video tab in my website is the most important 8 minutes of your life are the first 8 minutes of your day. And so if you start your day the intentional way with spirit, and that's all in that little video, is right at the top of my video tab, and then all of this to practice letting go throughout the day. You can get lighter and brighter, and all those bags are going to disappear and fly free. Okay, I think we've got everything. Where would you like to go now, Robin?
Slide. Oh, did you do the pricing?
Yeah, we already did that.
Okay, great. Well, we have a few more quotes that I'd love to share because they're so beautiful from people in our community. And here's Dr. Velvet. And she says, as a metaphysician, I walked through countless layers of healing work, but I knew I needed someone who could truly peek behind the veil. My sessions with JJ didn't feel dramatic in the moment, yet days later, the shifts rolled in like waves. I had been stuck, shrinking under my own thoughts and the weight of what I imagined others expected of me. With JJ, I felt hopeful again. Our last session was the breakthrough. 3 days later, something inside of me finally clicked. How fun is that?
That's awesome.
So, I think should we leave it at that? And any final comments from you, JJ?
There's 2 more quotes, and those will be in in the document. I just want to say that becoming a master, which means highly intentional, of conscious completing can change everything, and it can change people around you. Not only is it a gift you give yourself, but it's a gift you give your past and everyone in it and everyone around you. I can't stress enough how important this practice is, and I'm just holding a prayer for all of you to integrate this simple teaching that has profound results. And I wish you a fabulous end of your year and a great start to the new year. And doing conscious completions for your business at the end of the year, all of that, you'll have fun. It's great fun. Thank you, Robin and Gregory.
Thank you, JJ.
We don't have time. I mean, I have time if
This
there was any Q&A, but what do you want to do?
if anyone has a question, if you want to raise your hand or bring your, Melanie, do you have a question? You opt up. If someone has a question or a comment for JJ, we got a few minutes.
Yeah,
You
Melanie.
can unmute your line.
I have a question. Hi.
Yes.
Yeah, so I just signed up for the 4 p.m., but I didn't know if that was EST time or Pacific time.
It says at the top of the calendar, all times listed in Pacific.
Pacific. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Gratitude for that.
Congratulations, Angelica. I look forward to seeing you.
Yay. Okay.
If you have a question, raise your hand, and that'll bring you up to the top of the screen. And we got a couple of minutes for a little bit of Q&A. And if we have anybody that's already had sessions with JJ and you want to share some of your insights with JJ with us, please raise your hand. That'd be awesome.
Okay.
Any questions?
I guess everybody is full.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. That was so wonderful, JJ. Every time it gets better and better. And we're coming up. Here we go.
Pamela Butters has her hand up.
Pamela, you want to unmute your line, hon? She's getting there.
I have to say, I think working with JJ has been one of the most profound gifts for change and transformation and just the insight that's come through. I've worked with a lot of people over the years, living in places like Sedona, and you've got all the master healers and things like that, and gone to all the seminars and all the things for motivational type things to be a better in life. And she literally has a gift for going right to the core of the blockage. And if you get rid of the blockage at the headwater, boom, your light can shine again. So it's just absolutely amazing. And I'm so grateful that when I really, reached out for help, and Robin told me, wow, I know exactly who could help. And yeah, it's miraculous. And my life is literally in the process of some major changes. And it's happening all because I've had the courage to know who I really am, with a little help from my friend. And she has become not just someone she has become a friend, like you said, Robin. She's just amazing. So can't thank you enough. And
thank you, Pamela.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Pam. It's beautiful to watch you blossoming in front of our eyes.
Yeah, and I'll see you in Scottsdale, Gregory. I'll be there.
Gregory. Yep.
Yeah.
And Sherry, do you want to go? You want to unmute?
Sure. Yeah, I would just echo everything that was just said. I've been with so many people who are amazing healers, but JJ just kind of takes the cake on it all. So just to be able to, for me personally, it's just been layers and layers of generational patterns. And I think what we say the other day, it was like hundreds of thousands of years potentially of like stuff that's just being unleashed. So it's hard work. It's great work. It's like when you're ready, you're only going to unleash what you're ready to unleash also. So that's where, for anyone who's like, I don't know if I'm ready, like, your soul's only going to take you where you're ready to go. And then that's where every time you go back for more, you're going to be ready for whatever. So I have total trust in JJ and what she does. And I would just encourage anyone, like, hop on with her. It will be very worth your time, even for the call in the beginning. So connect, connect, connect.
Thank you, Sherry, so much. Congratulations on all your leaping.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Michelle.
Hello there. I was driving the whole time, so I'm glad that I finally am in a parking space now. Hi, JJ. Worked
Oh,
with you
Michelle.
earlier this year in March for my birthday.
Yes.
And this was so transformational I guess it was around this time last year that you offered this. I encourage everybody to sign in and have that introductory exchange with you to see if you are the person that is in alignment and attunement with them. And I just remember, I cannot believe I forgot about all this work earlier this year. It's like life got in the way, and I am now back to writing and uploading like I never before. My entire brain is being downloaded onto paper, and I'm finally connecting the dots of my life that all started within, I think it was what, 24 hours after working with you. I was supposed to be quiet and reflective. And I went to a park and just walked around, and all of this uploading, downloading started. And I am back to it again. And I forgot you were the impetus. I don't know how, but I am so glad and grateful for this work and for Robin and Gregory. You guys are all timeless. And it's such a gift. And I'm so glad I can do the replay because now I can share it with people in my downline to get a jump start, to leap and fly in this life. And there's no need to do the baby steps to whatever it is that you desire when you can have such a jump start with JJ. So thank you all for
Thank you,
walking
Michelle.
this.
And I just want to correct something. I wasn't the impetus, you were, and your
There you
soul
go.
was. I just showed up and paid attention, but you were the impetus. It was your soul that was reaching out.
Grateful
Beautiful.
for that reminder again, too.
Okay, last one we're going to take, Darlene. I'm sorry we're out of time. Well, you slipped in under the wire. We'll take Carolyn Cole, but no more after that. Go ahead, Darlene.
Thank you so much. It may seem like a silly question, but it's definitely important to me anyway. I definitely had planned on being here early, and I've been studying so much. I retired a couple of months ago, studying so much on uh, life wave and everything, and wanting to get this business started that I overslept. So I'm hoping that I can hear there's going to be a replay later because for the last couple of months, I've been doing what it sounds like JJ is teaching, and I definitely want to go higher and deeper.
Yeah, it'll be in our Live Younger YouTube.com, probably within the next
Okay.
20 hours. And we'll also be posting it on the Live Younger Facebook group.
Thank you very much.
The PDF will also, you'll see the slides themselves on paper if you want to, along with the 10-page handout. So you'll get lots of support right away.
Thank you.
And they will be in the Live Younger Facebook group, and we'll get them loaded up into the What's New section of Live Younger Success within the next 24 hours. Great.
Thank
Okay,
you very
so
much.
Carolyn, you're welcome, Darlene. God bless you. And Carolyn, you
Yes.
slipped under the wire. You're going to close it up for us.
Just a quick note, JJ is such a joy to work with. And if you are on the fence and you don't even know what you want to talk about, she will pull it out of you. It's just your soul's journey is waiting to be bright and shiny. And I just so love you, JJ.
Oh, thank you, CL. Thank you so much. Yeah, we definitely get into a love fest because we're with spirit and there's nothing but love and it just heals just by being together. Yes.
Thank you, JJ. Thank you, everyone. This brings our call to a wrap, and we'll get the replays and the information back out to you right away.
Okay.
You can
Thank you all
unmute and
so
say
very
thank
much.
you. Bye.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
JJ.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Thank you,
Robin.
Thank
JJ.
Thank you,
you.
JJ. Thank you, Robin and Gregory.
Thank you,
Robin
thank
and
you.
Gregory.
Gregory.
Yeah.
Have a great
Thank
Thank you,
day.
you.
JJ.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gregory and
Wonderful.
Robin.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Have a good X39
Bye.
day.
Dr. Velvet.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you,
Thank
Robin.
you.
Love you, Genevieve.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh,
Love you,
thank you.
Genevieve.
Great.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Lavelle.
Thank
JJ.
you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
JJ. Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Robin
you.
and
Thank you. Thank you.
Gregory.
Thank you. Thank you. Love you
Thank you,
all.
everybody.
Bye.
Fabulous help
Wonderful.
for
Bye.
all of
Thanks, Robin and
us.
Gregory.
Bye, everyone.
See ya. Bye bye.
Bye.